What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you an attack strategy video from our last or recent CWL match. God, I forget what each attack is in nowadays. With like NDL, CWL, and all the clans. Anyway, so people have been asking about more Mayk DragLoons, but I pronounce it Mayk. It's actually a Mayk DragLoon. And I count from Mayk from One Hive, and he was starting doing it during season 1, and he had a very specific army composition, or at least conceptually about it. And I'd asked him about it. He used the Zap Quake and things like that, and I really learned it from him, what to look for, things like that. So it's that's the history for me on it. What this is a basically it's a Suicide Royal dragon attack with a back-end Lalo. That's what it is. And I call it a Mayk DragLoon, and really it's more of a dragon Laloon attack. And what you look for in order for this to work, like the cream of the crop, you can use it on multiple kinds of bases, but the main things that you look for that really make it an overkill is the queen that is uncovered by the sweepers. So I can just go straight at the queen. The queen is also not covered by air defenses. And so this is a prime target for my dragons. The other things that you look for is it's very stage specific, where your royals' main job by themselves with at most 18 troop space is to get 1 air defense. If you can get 2, it's overkill just with the royals. That's the main thing, specifically 1. So what you look for when coupled air defenses like this, if you have 1 queen and royal take care of this one, it leaves this air defense, right? You can either Zap Quake this air defense, and now this is out of the question, and then you're left with 2 air defenses down here, and when you have, when you're able to get away 1 air defense with your royals, 2nd air defense with spells, basically, you're left with 2 air defenses, and if they're in close proximity by each other, or a lot of people like to refer them as coupled together, that's what your back-end Lalo is for. The 1 Hound and then complementary 6 Loons with 1 haste, and it's such a short distance that a max Hound will take a trapped, double-covered air defense and give it enough time before it pops, before the hasted Loons come in and take down the air defenses. Everything else is really just titties, and what you're looking for primarily is the air defenses to go down. If you miss structures on the way there, like an Expo or an Architar or a Wizard, doesn't matter. The air defenses going down is the most important thing, because your main kill squad, or main attacking force rather, is the dragons. So those are the 3 things rather that I look for. What can I get with my royals? What can I does that leave a path for the queen to be dragon swept? And then what the remaining air defenses, especially they're going to be in close proximity to dragons coming this way. They're going to basically complement the dragons coming in. And yeah, you got a bunch of air targeting things here, point defenses here, but I'm telling you, if you have like 6 healthy dragons, because you're going to lose some along the way, entering 4 point defenses, that is a crap ton of HP in the air. That is, well, a dragon is, I think, 2,600 hit points now, level 4s are. So if you have 6 of them, that's well over 13 or 1,400 HP in the air, coming at 4 DPS that do 75 each. So what, 280? I have 1,200. It's insane. So anyway, that's primarily what you look for. There's a lot of bases nowadays that it matters. The bows being on multi do not matter whatsoever. It's mainly the air defense placement, sweeper placement, and queen. You can ignore the CC as well if you don't want to trigger the CC with your royals at all. So this was a perfect example of what to do. Knowing those things of what I look for, here's the army composition and why it needs to be as such. So you have your royals. That's a given. But your main attacking force, for me, I primarily start with 8 dragons, 8 drags. Okay, that's 1. And then I have my CC Max Hound, and I have 8 loons. CC Hound. I have 8 loons, and some people go skimpy on this. They bring like 6 loons, or maybe they go heavier and bring 10. For me, my sweet zone is 8. If I need to be heavier with my kill squad, let's say I need to open up a piece of the wall in order for my Royals to comfortably get 2 air defenses, it is worth the investment, to return on investment, to drop a loon to gain wall breakers if your Royals are going to get 2 air defenses. Because the return on investment you get back is you don't need spells to take care of that second air defense. So it's all base specific, but I'm talking bare minimum. This is what I usually start with and what I commonly use the most. So 8 dragons, 8 loons for the back end Lalo. I got a CC Hound. And then you're not left with very much troop space. You have about 18 or 20 troop space remaining. So I usually start with 1 baby dragon. And this is for my Royals. 2 wizards for funneling purposes or even cleanup. I'm sorry. Whoop. 2 wizards. And then here's the part that almost most people ignore or forget. You need things, you need a lure. You need a fishing line lure to fish out Teslas. So at minimum, I need 2 Barch. Now it doesn't have to be a barbarian. It doesn't have to be an archer. It can be a goblin. You can lure with a goblin or fish out. It depends. And I'll talk to what I mean by that. But minimum 2, and it's for the corners. Even if there's a hut there, you should still use 2 Barch. So there's the army composition. I'm going to talk through how I used each one in order to take down this basin, or what I used it for. Because I've done a couple of these lately, and a lot of people have been asking, like, hey, could you go through it again? I do have attack strategies on this, so check out my attack strategy playlist from a while ago. All right, so here, what are we doing? What are we doing? I see that my Royals are gonna focus on this section. All right, this is what my Royals need to get. Yes, I can't get this cannon, but we'll get there in just a moment. So I need the tank first. Actually, hold up. That's what my Royals are gonna get, and then I'm gonna have my dragons come from the right over here. I'm sorry, left over here, and then I'm gonna have my back end Lalo this way onto here. The first thing I need to do is understand, do I need to work with Troll Teslas or not? So the first thing that I drop are 2 of my Barch troops. Sacrificial by nature, their main job and only job is to fish out a Tesla. That's it. So I'm going to put an archer here, and then the next thing he's going to do is step up and take care of this camp. The mortar splash comes like this, which is why I don't want to use a goblin. I could use a goblin over here. I could use a goblin. I'm choosing not to, and I'll tell you in a second. The reason why is the goblin's going to take care of this by itself, but that's it. So that's an example of when you could use a goblin. It depends on what's on the corners. So I'm starting in this blank spot. If there's no Tesla, it's great. I also take away something for some trash, which only helps the time. And if there is a Tesla here, this is where 1 of my 8 loons come into play. I drop a loon right here, and its job is to take care of the Tesla. The main, if you can find a base that meets the qualifications of what we're talking about and why, the main thing that will stop you from achieving the 3-star is time. Troll Teslas are definitely a killer to the strategy, and the reason why is the dragons, you don't want them to circle back to take care of trash, to take care of all this stuff and behind them. Because remember, I'm only bringing 1 hound, and his job is not to turn into pups for cleanup. His job is to tank for the loons to take down the air defenses. If I get any pups remaining, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, that's just titties. It's just cleanup. A lot of times it's not there, though, and you'll find that they'll get picked off, and then you don't have anything to clean up the trash that you left behind. So that's the main thing about combining time. You do sacrifice 1 of your 8 loons if there's a Tesla here, and then you take another archer right here, and I decided to do an archer, not a barbarian, because the archer will comfortably get this, and then more than likely will get this as well before it's picked off, so I can get more structures. Since dragons are wicked slow, I can literally set it and forget it. If there isn't any Teslas there, I get to keep 2 extra loons. And it just makes my back end Lalo also much better. So why not a barge for the other 4 corners? When I watched Mayk do this, he actually had a barbarian for every corner. I've found over time and experience of using this great strategy that you don't really need the other 2 corners. Usually because you're going to have your dragons being deployed from one of those corners. You're going to fish out a Tesla there if you just drop it further behind. And you're going to have your royals on another side. Or your funneling troops, basically. So you can fish out the other 2, 3rd and 4th corner with your dragons or your royals. My main job of my BK is to hit this thing, get the attention of this mortar, which then allows me to use wizards to take care of this camp and this right here. And that guarantees my royals to head this way. And the reason why I don't want them to head to the left is because all my dragons are there and they don't need any help. They don't need any help whatsoever. I guarantee I can get rid of this air defense. With this mortar gone because of the wizards and the BK tanking for my queen comes right behind it, right about in this section, and you just want to make sure you drop her at the right time and in a place that there is no reason she'll circle back. And so with the wizards taking care of the left side, there's no reason she should circle back. She'll go straight down. So we'll go down this way. They'll get rid of this and all this stuff like I drew up before. All that comfortably. I'm leaving these 2 structures because once this mortar's gone and that mortar's gone, this air defense is completely uncovered by splash. Uncovered whatsoever. There's the other thing is you don't want air defenses that are covered by the royals. So if you have like on the bottom down here, if this was the BK and I was trying to do a skeleton on this air defense down here on the bottom, it wouldn't work out. The skeletons will stop what they're doing and aggro onto the royal and won't retarget until the royal's done. So with that being done and all the royals taking care of this, I can comfortably drop 2 skeleton spells and a CC skeleton. And they're going to take care of this and this. And that's for pathing purposes. So now I got this nice little line going on for my dragons. I don't need a baby dragon here, and your baby dragon and your 2 wizards, those are customary. Customary for you. You can change it to what the base gives you and what you need to exploit to achieve those things. So for me, I want to make sure my dragons clump together around these high hit point storages and stuff like this, because I'm going to have a rage for it. So I'm going to use one of my baby dragons. I could use minions. I mean, I really could. There's all this is uncovered, but I just felt like I'd get it done faster and with less mess. And I'd get more bang for my buck for just 1 baby dragon for me. So I use 1 baby dragon here. His job is to basically form the other part of the funnel and possibly get more. Maybe get some more defenses in there. That kind of thing. It's just that something not targeting my mature dragons. All right. Then I have 8 dragons, right? So I got 2, 4, 6, 7. I might even hold my 7th one and my 8th one because I'm down here on the left side. This trash right here is an excuse for my dragons to stay away from the core. So I might even put a 7th one all by himself, and his job is to mainly take care of this trash to keep my dragons pushed this way. So the dragons are going to converge like that and push this way. It is spell time. We're going to do a rage. Because I was able to not use a doubles, 2 lightnings and an earthquake to take care of an air defense, by using a skeleton, this trick here that I usually look forward with this attack strategy, although a zap quake is just as good if you can't skeleton it. You just don't get an extra spell. I'm able to have an extra elixir spell for my dragons, which just makes it complete freaking overkill. So rage through here, guarantee that it's not really the point defenses, it's more so the time itself of the storages. And then I want to heal them back up because they have some point defenses over here to deal with and over here. And then when you kind of predetermine where the lines are going to be. Once my dragons reach right about to this line, that's when I'm going to send my CC Hound from like this. Again, the angle when deciding is you're aiming for no excuse defensively and pathing wise for your loons not to get the air defenses. They must get them. So 3 from this angle and 3 from this angle, just in case there's a Tesla pop here. I'll have 3 go like this. they'll get that, and they'll have 3 go like this. And if these loons are stupid and decide to go that way, my other loons will definitely get that. I've failed a drag loon this attack when I was over at 6 liches very recently. Forgot what war it was, and it was for this exact reason. I was not very careful on how I deployed my loons. So that's what that's for, to take care of these 2 air defenses. And then I'm going to use a haste for that, just like this. That way I know that there's no excuse that they won't get these things. That's what my back end will get. And now I'm left with 1 rage. I'm going to hold on to it and use it where applicable. My gut tells me I'm probably going to need it right here, right around here, because I'll have enough healthy loons over there. And if not, I might even do it down on this side, get a little bit deeper. It depends on what the base is giving me at progresses. So those are the things that I look for with this attack strategy. Coupled air defenses like this are everywhere. Another thing you can do this on is all air defenses on one side. It's the same concept. But just to recap, royals are going to paint a nice little path for my dragons. My back end Lalo is going to paint a nice little path. And my baby dragon, so you can see my dragons will go just like this, with not giving 2 shits about the sweeper, and they're going to wreck face. So hopefully those talking points were helpful for you. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than a double, and I'll check you next time.